Good evening, everyone. This is the Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission, January 18th, 2023, 6:30 p.m. To all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable's Hyannis Main Street Waterfront Historic District Commission ordinance under Chapter 112, Article 3 of the Code of the Town of Barnstable, you are hereby notified that a hearing is being held at Town Hall, 367 Main Street, Hyannis, Mass. Selectmen's Conference Room, second floor, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, January 18th, 2023. Please note that this meeting will be recorded and broadcast on Channel 18 in accordance with MGL Chapter 30A, subsection 20. Anyone taping this meeting to please make their presence known. I would also ask that people silence or however they want to do with their, take the volume down or whatever on their cell phones. Calling the meeting to order. Our newest member, Commissioner Laura Cronin. Right? Yeah. Commissioner Tom Doherty.
Here.
Commissioner Mark Despotopoulos.
Here.
Commissioner and Vice Chair, oh, by the way, and Mark Despotopoulos is also our clerk. Commissioner and Vice Chair Jack Kay.
Here.
And I, Chair Cheryl Powell, Commissioner also present. We also have two staff members with us tonight. Could I invite you to please introduce yourselves?
Karen Herron, Planning and Development.
Jim Kupfer, Senior Planning and Development.
Okay. Welcome to everyone, our applicants. Just a few things, nothing on trainings. I did want to point out that the town council is meeting tomorrow at 7 p.m. and I believe that's in the in the town hall, right? The James Crocker room. Marina Atzelis will be receiving an award from the town council tomorrow. If you wanted to attend, please feel free to do so. We had submitted her name 3 years running, and she is very deserving. Served on this, on the HHDC for, I believe, 26 years. Tomorrow night, Thursday. It's always on a Thursday, 7 p.m. And it's going to be one of the first things. Pardon? I thought the next meeting was up. Nope. Okay. So I'll send you an email if I see that changes. But please, if anyone wants to come, it's not mandatory. Okay, we go every once in a while over the whole purpose and everything, but I don't think that's necessary tonight. New business, Town of Barnstable Planning and Development Department, approximate locations 328, 386, 438, 462, 514, and 612 on Main Street, Hyannis. 6 modular parklets. Can I ask who's going to be representing tonight?
Hi, I'm Kyle Pedicini, Community and Economic Development Planner for the Town of Barnstable.
Excellent. Can I ask you to sign in? Because does he have to sign in his position?
He works with me. So.
Okay, I didn't know because of the, yeah, okay, all right. So, well, please.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for having me tonight. We're here seeking approval of 6 modular parklets along Main Street in Hyannis. So this was a project, the town received a shared streets grant from the state for this project. And the idea is to kind of enhance the multi-mobility of Main Street Hyannis to have us better utilize the Cape Cod RTA trolley, the free trolley service along Main Street, which I'm not sure if you're aware of, but it in the summertime it loops along Main Street, and I think it goes down Ocean, and it's a nice little free service and open air trolley. So the idea is we don't really have like dedicated stops for them at this time, or it's not really obvious where the dedicated stops are. So these parklets, they're modular, so they're easy to install. They can be moved whenever they need to. So we're looking to have 6 of them, and they're 40 by 8 feet. And so they take up 2 parking spots each along the Main Street. They're only on one side of the street because that's the way the trolley goes and opens up, and so it's people can safely, embark on the trolley. There'll also be, some benches in the parklet, so there could be some, outdoor dining options, but they're really intended to kind of enhance the trolley service along Main Street. They also have bike racks, so it enhances the bikeability of Main Street Hyannis a little bit. We're thinking of steel black framing for the framing, and there would be like see-through kind of mesh looking, which is in your packet, what we were thinking of. And there would be a shade sail above it that would be navy blue to kind of play to the maritime history of the area. And the decking would be gray. And there's 6 locations that I'd be happy to explain on the map if you'd like, but they're in your packet where we're looking to have them. These locations were selected working with the Hyannis bid and business owners to try to figure out, where it made most sense, where businesses would be amenable to having them in front. So a lot of work before my time went into picking these locations. And they'll be procured through Massachusetts procurement laws, open-ended. And I'm happy to answer any questions. I'm not sure if I missed anything, but. Yeah, happy to
Very
answer any
nicely
questions.
presented.
Thank you.
So, do any of the commissioners have any questions with regard to the presentation? Commissioner Cronin?
First of all, I'd like to know if we have the opportunity to extend reviewing this, because I personally just got the materials, even though they were online. I wasn't able to really study them or read a lot what was being proposed. I'm trying to understand where they fit in with an historic perspective on Main Street. It looked like at least first glance, it looks like they're just like a bus stop, which if you look at the exit 6 bus stop down there, you're gonna see what happens to those when people are using it. But I'd like to know a little bit more about how it fits in with the historic plan that we have and what our purpose is. And I would like to know a little bit more where they physically will be before I can, that's just me. I mean, I'd like to just have a little bit more time to take a look at it and understand where they'll be, how are they fitting into historic, and do they have to be on Main Street? I think Kevin just said that it wasn't the locations were identified before his involvement, so he wouldn't be able to answer that.
Did you want to address that?
Well, I do think it was intended to be on Main Street to enhance the trolley service along Main Street. So I think that was the intention, to have it on Main Street. The other question, how does it fit in with the historic? Well, I think we tried to keep historic in mind when we chose the materials and tried to keep it kind of in theme with the area and what the surrounding properties, kind of the aesthetic of it, if you will. But yeah, I'm happy to go through if we want to go through all the 6 locations. It shouldn't take too long on Google Maps if Jim can help us out. But
You have the locations here on the map. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So in essence, it is taking up 12 parking spots, just like 2 each
yep, that's correct.
along Main Street.
Correct.
I have a couple questions also. I agree with Laura. I think I'd like a little more time also. I can't get a grip on the size of these, the dimensions of them, and really what they look like. Is this exactly what it's going to look like?
Better model is kind of this, but we just didn't have the correct siding of it. So the first 2 photos are kind of the best rendition of what it will look like, but we just, like I said, we didn't have like the correct siding, so we wanted to give you a picture of that. But that's how it'll look like on the last page. You can kind of see the dimensions of it. But like I said, it kind of fits pretty nicely into 2 parking spots in terms of its sizing.
And to me, it also seems like 1, 2, 3, 6 stops just along Main Street, and it's a lot of parking spaces. It's I can't get a visual of how it's going to look. Okay, and I'm very into aesthetics, as I think everybody knows all the time. And when we talk about this, and I think we need so many more improvements downtown than putting in 6 bus stops, and that's really what it comes down to. So I really got to get a better idea. I need more time to digest this. I really would like to see a sample of what this looks like. If we could do some type of a Photoshop of, putting these things, into perspective. I've seen things on roads before with restaurants and stuff like this. Are they going to be decorated? Are they going to have flowers? Are they going to have lighting?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that string lights was a part of the proposal, so they have some,
String lights.
some string lights on it.
I'm into lighting. I think lighting is, the lights in the trees that Elizabeth put in
They
downtown
kinda
really made a
see-
big difference.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of those balls. So lighting is really important to me. I don't know, I think I really got to see more on these before I could sign off. And to me, it's an awful lot on Main Street. Seems to be an awful lot around the area, too. So,
There's a picture here that I believe is one of my questions I circled. I think this is your string lighting, is that correct?
yeah, exactly.
But that's
Yep.
a hard picture to really
I'm just
visualize.
clarifying, so that's where, yeah.
You look at this picture here,
Yeah, but I get what you want. You want something that's like a little superimposed on the actual area, so you can see how
You know
it,
what I'd like to see in that picture? The leaves cleaned up first. Okay? That's what I'd like to see
Yeah.
cleaned up. And we don't do that, this is my town in Westport, Connecticut. And they string these lights year-round around there. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And when they get to restaurant areas, they say, and they have a trolley system also. but
yeah,
In that town, there's two of them. And it's probably about, just a little bit smaller than our Main Street. But those lights are kept up year-round. And when you go down there, it's just like, wow.
Yeah.
This is where I want to be, this is where I want to eat. So I'm into lighting, but I really have to see more of what these things look like.
gotcha.
Oh,
And I would love to see the leaves cleaned up on Main Street.
ask him. Tom, can we just get a clarification? You say,
I was just wondering what town you were referring to.
Westport, Connecticut.
Oh,
Okay.
I could send you those pictures.
any other commissioners need clarification on the presentation?
I think all those were very good observations, points to be considered.
I do have question, well, I'll put it into the discussion. Just to be clear for the public that these are the 6 right here.
Yeah, a better indication is later, you can see the actual locations with the aerial maps.
Okay, so. Excuse me, I want to make sure I keep my notes clear. I'm sorry, Commissioner
One
Cronin.
more question, they said that this was in conjunction with bid, I think? Did the shop owners get involved in this discussion as well for the placements?
Yeah, it's my understanding they did. Yep.
That, I think we could do some of our own research there, just to make sure that they do understand we're taking up.
Yeah, and it's our plan to do additional outreach before they actually get installed. We don't want it to sneak up on anybody at any.
And what about the traffic also? With these stopping, how often are these trolleys going to go through and make the stop?
Yeah, well, they already do make the stops now. There's just not really good visibility as to where the stops are, so this is actually will make the maybe stops a little
They
safer.
make the stops at these 6 points?
Yeah, I think they were chosen with the Cape Cod RTA, and they said these 6 points are the most highly trafficked, the people get on and off at these stops the most, so that's where they wanted to.
And again, I'm thinking, do we need it so big?
Yeah, that's fair.
Do we need it so maybe smaller?
Could I just have one more question?
Sure.
One more consideration, did you consider doing them on North Streets, on the other side?
That's right.
Instead of on Main Street, put them on,
North and south.
on North Street anyway, South Street isn't even mentioned here. But I was thinking, instead of putting them on Main Street, could we consider putting them on the other side?
If I
of
may.
North Street?
So the trolley doesn't go on North Street. The trolley is meant for, it's a tourist. It's a tourist, you know it.
Yeah.
And so it's only during peak season. So the thought is, we live on Ocean Street. We watch that trolley fly by all the time with no one on it. And I think the intent here is, and I sat through some early discussions, so that's all I'm speaking from, is, trying to get more ridership on that trolley, try to get more excitement about the trolley, try to get lighting in the area other than just stringing it up on the trees. And thankfully we have some business owners that are willing to do some lighting in there. And I think to Mr. Penaciti's point about the materials, I think that you could certainly do some Photoshop for you guys, absolutely. The black was actually in concert with my discussions with him. I thought that historically and in our guidelines, the black metal steel is more appropriate for the district in accordance with our guidelines, as opposed to kind of that rustic wood look. But that doesn't preclude you from, if the commission prefers the more rustic look, you certainly can make that recommendation to them, or to Kyle here. So that was just some observation I wanted to clarify. Personally, I agree that I think 6 might be too many. I mean, it's not that long of a main street, so perhaps there's an opportunity for a reduction of the
And the
number.
size of the things.
Right, yep.
For the amount of ridership, the size of them is in proportion.
And I think that's why, as Kyle mentioned, there's some other opportunities there that, the bike racks, we're sorely missing bike racks. People say there's no bikes, we don't have any infrastructure for it. I know my kids ride the bikes and we kind of lean it up against a wall and hope that for the best. And they have, like picnic tables and stuff like that for, that could be an opportunity to kind of reduce it maybe if we wanted to remove those types of features to them. And then in terms of working with the business owners, I know there was some early discussions. And I know there has been discussion with Kyle about reaching back out to the businesses. That's kind of one of his roles, is networking and working with all the businesses and with the bid. And specifically things like the sale, like that big blue sale. Personally, I think it's a nice feature to have there. But for the business owners that might be right next to it, I think it would be important to have those communication, because that might be blocking a sign or something like that that is very near and dear to the business owners about visibility. So we want to make sure that, certainly not doing anything to limit visibility.
You're using, this is in the parking spot, parking
So-
spots.
Parking
It
spots,
would, it would be right where the silver and black car are, essentially, according to that map.
So it's down the right side.
Yeah.
The 2 car spaces in the
Yep.
curve.
And it wouldn't bump out beyond the white line right there. It would just be like your parallel parking, 2 cars there.
I kind of like these ideas, but I like it as restaurants.
Right, private.
And they do that in Mashpee Commons, right in front of Estee. And it's beautiful in the summertime. They take it down in the winter, but they put flowers around it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can coordinate with some restaurants and that's up a smaller, little tiny thing for a trolley next to the restaurant. But again, flowered,
Yep.
lights,
How many trolleys do they have? How many trolleys actually ride them, buses?
That's a good
It's a
question.
good question.
The one that goes through right now.
Only one?
I mean, there's other bus services, obviously, but the peak tourist trolley, I believe it's one, maybe 2.
Maybe 2, 1 or 2.
Two
yeah.
maybe on special occasions.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
They're pretty nice trolleys, though. They're like our
They are. They're
open
very nice.
air and.
But they're gonna occupy a driving lane to load and unload.
As they do now.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if there was gonna be multiple trolleys, how congested that would be.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't think, there's either 1 or 2, and if there's 2, they definitely stagger it to avoid.
it's a big
that problem.
expenditure for 2 trolleys.
Yeah, it's probably 1. I'm not
That's why
totally
maybe we
sure.
could do something with the restaurants, have a little trolley stop next to it.
Are these trolley stops all on the same side of the road? All on the north side?
Yes, yes.
So Main
You gotta
Street,
go up and turn around and go down South Street and come back up again?
as they do now,
That's
yeah,
the
they go
route?
down to Calmus Beach, actually, and they have a stop down there, and then they go down Ocean Street. So it's kind of a loop. It's a little bit of a long loop, in my opinion, for a tourist trolley, but that's just my opinion.
I think they're very nice in the summer.
And yes, how many people ride it now?
That's a good question. I can get you that information.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like we're heading towards a continuation, which is totally understandable, and I can get you some additional information on some of these questions.
I have, well, actually, I always let the commissioners ask first. Do any of the other commissioners have any? I guess Commissioner Carter, no problem at all.
Who would maintain them,
Good question.
Good question.
maintain them daily?
Yeah, I think the idea is town in conjunction with the bid as well. The bid has they have some staff members who actually go around and clean up Main Street, and they'd be a partner with the town to make sure they stay clean, because they have a vested interest in making sure that they stay clean, too.
We should
So-
give those people a blower to get rid of the leaves, too. Did I make my point?
Yes, yes, leaves.
Yeah, no problem. While the other commissioners are thinking of more questions, I'm going to ask one. Not too long ago, maybe 2 years ago, which would predate some of you here, Laura, you were involved in other things, so you might be aware of it. There was a proposal to do parklets associated with the restaurants, where the restaurants could put in their tables and have dining services there. This this part of that? I mean, it seems almost identical to an extent.
It's different. This is more about the Cape Cod RTA trolley and trying to enhance the multi-mobility of the street. Like Jim mentioned, the bench, what am I looking for? The picnic tables, that's the word I was looking for, are like accessory of it, if you will. So there is some, I don't think it's like really a sit down, like it's probably like a takeout and you could sit there and eat your sandwich or whatever, but I don't think you're eating a whole meal in these parklets kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Who owns the trolleys?
Cape Cod RTA.
Who?
That's what it is, right?
Yeah. The bus station, right down the street, the Cape Cod RT.
Regional Transit Authority.
Yeah, haven't you heard the song?
This isn't a PB bus, I guess.
No.
Not Plymouth.
I can get you a picture of the trolley too, and a route. I'll get you a route map too.
It's a very quaint-looking trolley, or in my opinion. I think it's very fitting for the area. I have no problems with the trolley being historical. Okay, any objections to my opening it up to public comment? Public comment. Are you here for public comment by any chance?
Just watching and learning.
Oh, okay.
I have a business downtown, and I received that in the mail, so I thought I'd come down and see what y'all were up to.
Well, while we're on public comment, do you have any questions? So we can accommodate you in answering your question?
We have to get you at a microphone.
Oh,
Sir.
yes. We do have to put you at a microphone.
So they can hear you.
Now you're on the spot.
And welcome.
Hi.
Hi, you don't have to. I mean, it's just, I don't want you to feel that you were, you know,
Say your name for me, please.
Bruce Prescott.
hi. Are you new to the area?
I've been here for 6 years.
Okay.
We have a store on Main Street. There's Zoe and Company. It's the bra fitter.
Okay, all right. So it sounds like we may see you before us at some stage.
I have been here
Yeah, I remember.
for,
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay.
for fixing the building up. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Oh, I didn't know if you had any other questions on that. And after we finish with this application, if you have any other questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Oh, no, I was interested in what y'all were doing here, but you've all been asking all
Okay.
the right questions.
Good to know.
I am concerned about the leaves, and I do have a leaf blower that we blow them out and pick them up a lot. I would like it if you'd speak a little bit on the traffic logics, raised rubber crossings a little bit.
Yeah, That's not a part of this proposal. I'm focused on the parklets at the moment, so haven't even started to think about those, to be honest with you. This grant was procured before my time. I'm just picking it up, trying to manage the parklets project. So once we can work through this part, then I'll start focusing on that. But at this time, no. But I'd be happy to show you the grant materials if you want to see what was proposed at the time. I'm not sure if that'll actually still be what, I think that probably will be what we'll try to do, because that's what we got the money for. But that's not what I'm seeking approval for tonight.
I guess I was looking for you to expound on it and the idea that I went to the Jeff Speck thing.
Yep. Excellent.
Read
Thanks
the
for
book.
coming.
Read the book. We want to slow down the traffic on Main Street, and everything that was suggested would be a great idea. We also have a store in Concord, New Hampshire, where Spantech redid the downtown. Can't speak highly enough about it. Slowed everything down, made Concord a much better downtown, easier for pedestrians. Down here with the double 2 lanes, and that's why I was asking about the speed bumps.
Yeah, yeah.
People are going 35, 40 miles an hour
Right.
down there. How somebody's not hit every day, I don't know.
I actually saw like a Lamborghini going like 70 down Main Street today.
He was just trying to show how slow it could go.
So if we could,
Yeah.
anything that's there, and the trolleys are a good thing, and increases people walking the bikes, that's great.
Yep.
I was wondering about who was gonna keep them clean. I imagined it was going to be the bid. I'm not too crazy about the double parking spaces. I would think 1 would be better than 2. Not crazy about the picnic tables. It seems like the people who are going to sit there are going to stay.
Very good point.
Good point.
Good point.
That is a good point. And so I'm glad you brought that up, because that brings to mind other things. Good point.
Thank you.
Thank you, that's awesome.
Appreciate your comments.
Thank you very much.
We have an opening on the commission, too.
When I've come down here for my building, you can tell I'm ill at ease here, but you guys are just so professional, so good. I remember you, you've been here for a long time.
Oh, come on, you're kidding.
Forever. But, no, the town, y'all do such good things.
Thank you very much.
I try to go to the town meetings. The bid is fantastic. We love being here. This is just such a great town, and you got all great people that are asking the right questions, concerned and doing the right things. I mean, I just applaud you.
No, if we can get you to write that and send it to all the town councils, right.
Karen's right now.
If I may,
Yes, yes.
if I may, I
please.
just have a shameless plug. Next Wednesday night is the second meeting of the Jeff Speck group at the high school. If anybody is available to attend, at 7 o'clock, I believe, is
Yep.
the start, and they're going to show some concepts.
I'm gonna come there, and I'm gonna bring people from another town to show them.
Excellent.
There you go. So in that case, I'll leave public comment open. So now the discussion with the commission. Actually, first I'd like to ask staff. Jim, do you have anything to contribute?
No, nothing additional at this time. I think there's a lot of good points, and I think, the applicant, and I can work with the applicant to address some of these concerns and have those back to you, maybe in a different format, well in advance of the next meeting.
Okay. Karen, did you have anything? So on discussion, I tried to write down a lot of what the things. I know that they're hoping to do two-way traffic on Main Street. So we have to, what we're considering is to also consider in light of the somewhere between possibility and probability of their two-way traffic going there. You brought up a good thing about the traffic logic. Thank you very much. Previous, I brought that up. Thank you about the previous talking about restaurants. Bike racks, I think, are exceptional. I am concerned about Commissioner Doherty, I think you were the one who brought it up about concern with the picnic tables, that people would come and then just stay there with their family and.
Gentlemen.
Oh, oh, was that you? Okay.
That's my thought, he said the words.
I just nodded heavily.
We're all communicating well. The concern there is going back to what the restaurant thing is. We could have someone there, for a family there for like 3 hours or something. Not that they don't have the right to be there, but the idea is to bring in more. I think one people mentioned maybe not have the picnic tables there, just chairs or,
Not even why chairs.
well, yeah. Because the other question I have is, are these just in the summer or the year round?
Yeah, they're seasonal.
Okay. And where will they be stored? Is there a place to store it?
That's a good question. We'll have to work with the Department of Public Works to figure out that answer. To be determined, I would say,
Okay.
is the answer.
I think, Commissioner Crone, you had a good question on how they fit into historical. And Commissioner Kay, I think you had a good comment about, does there need to be 12 spaces? And that kind of goes into maybe smaller. Those are the takeaways I get from what's been discussed. Have I missed any points?
I'd just like to make sure that we get the business, have, maybe do our own discussion with some of the businesses that these are proposed to be in front of, what they would look like, do they, know what that's gonna look like, or do they have to be on the right-hand side? I don't know.
You brought up a good point, though. If it goes to two-way traffic, that's gonna slow up traffic.
It is going to slow up traffic, yeah.
Definitely gonna slow up traffic.
Jim, you had something to say?
I was just going to respond to Ms. Cronin in terms of, you certainly, I mean, obviously, we're all residents of the community, certainly welcome to talk to the business. You know, the charge of the commission, though, is really looking at the form and character of the application before you. You know, it's separate than, you know, what the business interests are. I've just
Okay.
stated, the mission and purpose of this commission is to look at the character of the application, the structure and form. That, just putting.
Okay, structure and form.
Character.
And I would say I share your concerns about making sure that businesses are involved in the process, and we'll certainly make sure that they are.
Yeah.
Could you run the
planning's
cost
good
of this
about that.
also, what it's actually gonna cost the town?
Yeah, okay.
When you select the locations, did we sacrifice ADA parking? We've had some excitement about ADA parking during the COVID thing, and the outside dining spilled into the road and all of that. And so, are you avoiding interfering with those parking spaces?
Yeah, I believe, you know, again, that was before my time, but I believe that was taken into consideration. These are also all ADA compliant, the parklets, I forgot to mention that. But yeah, and I can double check on that.
And I do know in earlier discussions, yes, they avoided ADA handicap parking spaces, as well as any drainage structures. So working with DPW to make sure that they're not interfering in that kind of stuff.
That's good.
And handicap. That is, okay, I thought it was 88, considered a lot more, okay. Just make sure on that. Okay. Any further discussion? Nope. In that case, I will close public comment. And I've heard that there's a suggestion about a continuation. Are the commissioners would like that for more consideration? And if that is, you're nodding your head yes, does that mean
we're
you're
amenable,
fine with that?
obviously. Yeah. Yep, so do I need to officially request a continuance? Is that how it
If
works?
that's what, yes, everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Some additional
Yes,
information.
please.
So yeah, I'd like to request a continuance to your next meeting, hopefully, if possible.
Absolutely.
And we'll definitely provide additional information ahead of time and make sure it's in a manner that is able to be digested and downloaded.
It was very well presented and put together.
Thank
There's no problem. It's just, you know, you go in, there's questions, and it's.
Yeah, no, I totally understand, but we also want to make sure the technological errors don't happen again, so we'll try to address those.
not a problem. So would one of the commissioners like to make a proposal for a continuation?
It's up to you guys.
You want that in the form of a motion?
Or I can just continue it? Usually, I'll just go ahead and, let's make it formal, so we do a continuation. Would one of the commissioners mind making a motion that we
I'll
continue it?
make that motion that we continue this.
Keep it squeaky clean.
A second.
Okay, got 2 seconds, yay.
Clarity,
Okay.
just to clarify, February 1st, next meeting, continue to February 1st.
That'd be
Oh,
fine.
wonderful, the tax day, wonderful. Okay. Commissioner Despotopoulos,
Aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty,
Aye.
Commissioner Kay. I also say aye.
Lost
That
my
does,
point.
that it will be continued to our next meeting on February 1st. In the Selectmen's Conference Room? Okay. Sorry, we do have more stuff, sorry. So, no matters not reasonably anticipated by the chair. Approval of minutes. How are people? Any changes?
I didn't see anything for me.
So let's take them. With regard to the October 19th, 2022 draft minutes, it was tabled from December 21st, tabled at December 21st. Would one of the commissioners like to make a motion that we accept those minutes, or do we want to do all three?
I think we should do all three unless somebody has an issue.
Okay. So just to make sure there's no changes on any of the three that anyone feels is necessary?
I don't see anything.
In that case, Karen's good at getting those together. So, with regard to the October 19th, 2022, the December 7th, 2022, and the December 21st, 2022 minutes, would one of the commissioners like to make a motion for that those be accepted?
I'll motion to accept October 19, 2022, December 7th, 2022, and December 21st, 2022 minutes, that they are complete and correct.
Thank you.
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Doherty. So, Commissioner Kay, start on your side.
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty.
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin.
I was not at the meeting.
Were you were
I
here?
was here for December 21st.
So are you okay with the December 21st ones?
Yes. Oh, you doing them all together?
We're doing them
Oh,
all.
okay, yes.
So she's okay with the
I'm sorry,
December.
yes.
Thank you for clarifying that.
And you can vote as long as you've read them.
Oh, okay. Did you watch the video?
You're good.
Commissioner Doherty.
I guess Commissioner Cronin's aye, I'm aye.
And I am also an aye, and I'm not sure if you got, yes, you did. So an aye, so those are accepted. Next meeting, February 1st. One after that is February the 15th. Would a commissioner like to make a motion for an adjournment?
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second it.
Commissioner Kay.
Aye.
Commissioner Doherty.
Aye.
Commissioner Cronin.
Aye.
Commissioner Despotopoulos.
Aye.
And I, Cheryl Powell, say aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.